morning, all. Good morning. I'm Tom Gretsch. I am the chair of the Town of Hempstead IDA. Before we get into the agenda, can we please stand for the pledge and also a moment of silence for something? I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Please pause for one moment, just to reflect since our last meeting that New York City police officer and a bunch of other folks that were shot and killed in New York City. I look at it as whenever a law enforcement person from anywhere is injured or killed, it's a reflection and something to all pause to remember. Thanks very much. So good morning, folks. I can confirm we have a presence of a quorum. Is there any public comment on any of the specific agenda items? Sir, please, step forward and your name and where you live. Please.
Check 1, 2. Good
Yep.
morning.
All good.
Good morning, members of the board. Good to see you all. And good morning to my neighbors and colleagues from the village of Hempstead. Dan Oppenheimer, 23 Bedell Avenue, Hempstead, New York. Comments on 2 items. First on 100 Terrace. Terrace has long been a public safety, quality of life issue for the many hundreds of people who live there. If this project is able to address some of that, and the vast majority of people who live there simply want a safe home, place to raise their children, place that they can afford. A small percentage of those who are in the area prevent that from happening to a large extent. Obviously a very long-term, big project. I would hope that at some point the members of the board would be able to actually, if you have not done so, to go take a walk over by Terrace Avenue. On a given day, it can be a very nice, just like any other apartment building, and on other days it's not, when there's public safety and criminal issues going on in the area. So I would speak out in favor of this. It's obviously a huge project. If it accomplishes what it says it's going to accomplish, it would be a very great thing for the village. The village is also involved in upgrading Mershell Park and a general increase in public safety and quality of life within the village. So I think this aligns very well with the current village goals. So that is on that. The other one, not such a big project. Harris Beach wants to waive an administrative late fee of $825, $820. So, to me, that's an insult even to the board to bring up a ridiculous item like this. If they want to avoid late fees, they should pay their bills on time, which they have not done over and over again for years related to this project. So I would encourage the board either to not even make a motion on that or to not second the motion so that you won't even have to vote on this ridiculous application. Those are my comments. Thank you.
Thanks very, very much for your comments on both points. For the Village of Freeport, we have none listed, no business. For the Village of Hempstead. I'm sorry, I apologize. Name and address, please, sir. Representation.
Jeff Daniels, 75 Bedell Avenue, also Deputy Mayor of Incorporated Village of Hempstead, which is 99 James A. Garner Way.
Thank you.
So just really quickly, I'd like to, again, echo the sentiments of my neighbor, Dan Oppenheimer. I'm here to support the extension of the Terrace Avenue pilot. The area is one of the most densely populated sections of the village. Within a quarter mile of that area, or a 10-minute walk, 45% of the residents live at or below the poverty level. Right now, absent the extension of the pilot, 100 Terrace, which is one of the largest project-based Section 8 properties in all of Long Island, would be unable to complete the rehab, primarily because New York State no longer allows low-income housing tax credits to be utilized for acquisition rehabs. So without this pilot, the residents, some 400 some odd households, would be unable to reap the benefits of the rehabilitation as stated. This $25 million investment supports the village's current plans on Michelle Park, as Dan has mentioned. We are now in the design phase of the park. Estimated costs are about $32 million, and we applied to the state numerous for some capital to help us with that, offset the cost of that. And while I do support the extension, I would like to make sure that we do build something in to make sure that the work that is being committed to actually gets done. I think when we were at 590, 600, there was always a little bit of a cloud as to whether or not that work should be done. And if I put on my village hat, our building department would be suited, and if you would like to utilize us to make sure some of the rehab stuff that was supposed to happen goes in, we would take on that burden on behalf and report it back to this board. Just want to make sure that everything that said was going to be done is actually going to be done. And then lastly, sorry, I try to be organized and write notes when it didn't work when the phone cuts off. I'd just like to point to a project that the board did approve some maybe 24 to 36 months ago, and that's the Park-like residence, which is a very similar transaction as this transaction. And to date, all of those units have been rehabilitated. They were gut rehab. The tenants were moving around like a pig goes through a snake, but no one was displaced. Everyone stayed and remained on that property. And we're happy to report that since that has been completed, not only no complaints from residents or anyone around, crime in that area is down significantly. And in the village, we knock on wood whenever we say crime is down. And the quality of life is up much higher. So we're looking for a similar outcome on 100 Terrace. Thank you.
Excellent. Thank you for your comments. Duly noted. Anyone else care to address any points? Just for the record, this is just me speaking. I make it a point when we get the agenda from our wonderful staff every month to get in the car and drive wherever we have projects in the town of Hempstead to go check them out. And also in a state that's the 49th least hospitable or expensive to do business, I look at it as we have an obligation. Again, I'm just speaking for myself, not the board or the staff. We have an obligation to improve the lot of people throughout the town of Hempstead, and that's kind of my own personal mission within the confines of the board. That's just for the record. If there's no further comments, the Village of Freeport, we said there's no business. Hello, ma'am. Please approach with your name and address for the record.
Good morning. My name is Vaughn Bayswell. I live at 100 Terrace Avenue.
Good morning.
Good morning. I am a resident of 100, as I said. I am here today to speak in favor of the IDA program, Hudson Valley program group, who is appearing will be renovating our building. I am very interested in making sure that the Camp Peace program run by Dr. Faith will provide educational assistance and guidance for 70 kids in our building. In allowance to continue, Hudson Valley have ensured us that the Camp Peace and afternoon program will continue, and they will be even better. Given a track record that I happen to know, the Peace program have already helped many of us, our children, in improving their learning experience and had led them to additional school and colleges. I also understand that Hudson Valley will also be contributing to the much-needed renovation of Lincoln Park in Hempstead. We support all of those efforts and request that we approve their application. Thank you. Did
Thank
I say
you.
too fast? Thank you.
I know sometimes it's come up to publicly speak, but I will just say this. You had me at, I support the IDA, so. Ma'am, please come approach your name and address, please.
Good morning to all. My name is Norris Rodriguez. I am also a tenant at 100. Sorry. Good morning to all. I'm also a tenant at 100 Terrace Place. Current tenant, brand new tenant to Long Island itself. The program is muchly needed. You know, reading fundamental, obviously. The kids need to learn how to read at an early age. It's crucial. The program is crucial. The program is necessary, along with the park. I live on the 6th floor. A lot of the families that have children do not let the kids go to the local park because it's not a good park, it's not safe. The equipment is old, so they let them run in the hallways. What can you do? They're safe in the hallways, safer than outside because of the violence. So it's much needed. The reading program is needed. The renovation of the park is needed. The community needs the help. Like I said, I'm a brand new to that whole environment, so I see all the good and the bad. The people are lovely. I have had no problems. Been very helpful to me, because when I moved in, I was in a car accident. I couldn't walk, holding the door, bringing my groceries in. So even though it has a bad, high crime value, and this, that, and the other, there are great families there. Just because there are 1 or 2 sour apples, maybe 4 or 5, the community in itself is a great community. And I wish for whatever that community needs should be funded. It should never be questioned for the education of children. Once a paper is like that says education for children, it should automatically be stamped. It should never be an option of debate. So thank you very much, all.
Thank you for your comments. Anyone else? Good morning, sir. Please, your name and your address, please.
Good morning. My name is Larry Gore. I live at 5 Lafayette Avenue, Hempstead, New York. Apartment 3B. I'm in favor of this project because it's mainly, it has to do with the children. The children in our community, especially in that community, we don't get a fair shake. And like the last lady said, because of a couple of rotten apples, I don't think the children should suffer and not have the things they need. And ultimately, when it has to do with the kids in our community, I think we should always put it forward. That's the future, that's what's next. And being an organization in the community and helping out the kids, I see what we really need and where the kids suffer. And a lot of times, a lot of people don't get to see that because you guys are not outside. You guys don't get a chance to see the kids that don't eat. You guys don't get a chance to see the kids that don't get a chance to play these different high-priced sports that other kids get to play in this neighborhood. So, moving forward, I think, we should kind of think about the children. The adults already lived. The adults already did what they had to do. So let's kind of put forward the children, and that's what's most important. Thank you.
Thank you. Your comments are most appreciated. Thank you. Any other public comment? Good morning, ma'am. Just your name and your address for the record, please.
Good morning.
Good morning.
Dr. Faith Von Chavot. I live at 176 Delaware Avenue, Freeport, New York, and I'm here representing the Peace After School program that I'm the executive director of in Hempstead, New York, 100 Terrace Avenue. Good morning again.
Good morning.
I'm here because I wanted to support petitions being made by Peter Flory and his group with the Hudson Valley. I can't begin to tell you the impact that Peter Flory has had and will continue to have through the Hudson Valley sale on the lives of what has now been, over the course of almost 14 years, hundreds of children. Hundreds of children have benefited from his support of the Peace After School program. And in that program, he has provided electricity, utilities, other utilities, water, computer repairs, the facilities, having renovated 3 apartments. That's 3 full apartments, so you can do the math as to how that translates into US dollars, and provided them for the children who have come into the program and been served. We're not just talking about the children, but of course, because we have a holistic approach, we are talking about the families as well, with outreach and the impact that it's had on the lives of children. I could give you so many anecdotes related to children who were slotted to be placed in special education and were not because they had a good tutor. And some people don't realize the impact that one-to-one and small group tutoring can have on the lives of children who change direction and their academic achievement in school. And so children who may have been slotted to participate in special education services, instead, because of their good tutors and intervention, excelled and went on to attend college, some right at Nassau Community and then transferring to other colleges, and have come back to work in the program. Children who have graduated out of the program and are in high school have come back to work in the programs, many of them having their first job experience. And all because the management of the building was supportive of this program, its initiatives, and its focus on academic achievement and emotional development for children. We know that there is a pipeline that goes from our public schools to the prison industry. We know that. It's been documented with so much research. However, we also know, and this is a fact, that research supports that in fact when interventions are put in place early on, it makes a difference in children's lives, and we've seen it. We have anecdotal evidence of it. So the Hudson Valley persons have committed to supporting this program. But remember that programs don't come out of the air, and we're certainly aware of the climate in which we are, in which we've seen after-school programs facing cuts and monies being removed from these avenues of support for children. That being said, one of the main reasons that Mr. Flory and DFD were able to support our program, giving it so much, was because of the benefits that they received elsewhere. And so, that being said, if those benefits are not transferred to the Hudson Valley, then they would have great difficulty providing support for us in this program. And that would mean that, God forbid, our program would end and future generations of children who are high need, identified as high need, and really need these kinds of interventions, it wouldn't happen. And then they wouldn't have those great stories and anecdotes to tell. So I'm here to support them, to ask that you keep these ideas in mind in consideration of whatever decisions you make, because I'm here for children, and I know that you are as well. So thank you.
Thank you, ma'am, for your comments. Much appreciated. Any other public comment? Excellent. Thank you all for participating in that, those comments. So, for the Village of Hempstead, I'm going to ask for a consideration of an authorizing resolution for Hempstead Preservation, LLC, 100 Terrace Avenue, Hempstead, New York. Before, any comments from the board? Can I ask the principals who are here and/or the attorney to step forward? I have a question or two to ask.
Yes, for the record, Mr. Chairman and members of the board, Daniel Deegan, Porcelli Deegan Trana for the applicant, which is Hudson Valley Property Group. We also have Andy Cataluzzi, who's the co-founder, and we have Craig Sudan, who are representatives of the organization. Let me just also add in, because you heard a lot of different input from some of the community members and stakeholders here, including the deputy mayor, in support. So Dr. Vaughn's program is a program that takes place in the building, and Hudson has committed to keeping that program in place in the building. What this project really is going to do, and the Deputy Mayor alluded to it before, that it's a unique opportunity because in the past, like the Park Lake project was rehabilitated with tax credit money. That money is no longer available. It's because of the Hudson Valley Property Group's unique financial structure and wherewithal that they're able to come in with traditional debt and equity and make over close to a $25 million investment into the physical improvements. Every tenant is going to have new bathrooms, new kitchens. Everyone's going to be left in place. No one has to move out of their apartment. This is a tremendous opportunity for the Village of Hempstead and for this building and the community there. Hudson Valley has a proven track record of doing this in other places around the country, and they're looking to bring that here. They've been interfacing with the police department. They've been interfacing with the Crescent Group, which is the local hiring facility, to make sure that local people participate in the physical work that has to be done at the facility. So they're hitting all the right notes as far as I can see, and obviously that's why they've garnered the support from the village administration and from the residents there.
Thank you. I'm going to ask a broad question for the village trustees, Deputy Mayor, who might be here. So I see in the project plan, at least parts of it, there'll be a funding for refurbishing the Hempstead Police Department substation. This is a $146 million privately put forth investment. What's the village going to do when it comes to increased resources for the PD? Having a substation redone is wonderful. What's the other resources the village will step up with to make sure that the place is properly manned and staffed in general? That's not a question for the developers, it's a question for the village. Please, step up.
The Deputy Mayor.
Thank you. Thank you, Attorney Deegan.
Well, we continue to do a lot there. Right now, we actually have a car positioned there. So our overtime cost related to crime reduction on Terrace Avenue is up significantly. The station that they're refurbishing was originally done along with DNF maybe a year and a half to 2 years ago. Dollars was put into that. But as we also alluded to, we're spending a significant amount of capital on Michelle Park, which is right around the corner from 100 Terrace Avenue. On top of that, we're right in the design study right now for boulevarding Terrace Avenue. As you can see, you drove down the block, we have diagonal parking on the west side of the street, which has turned out to not be the most efficient. Also, along with some of the changes that they're speaking to, the additional parking from the parking garage to help alleviate some of the issues that we're having. We're spending a significant amount of dollars involved in that. We're hoping we can start the boulevarding project. There's also, ancillary things comes to when you start putting curb and gutter in there, so the dollars start to add up because of water, rainwater retention and other things that are around that area. So there's a significant amount of investment going there. Less than a quarter mile up the road, we have 300 plus units that are being built right there by the train station. The village has $35 million committed to sewer capacity and water transmissions there. We have over $200 million worth of public-private infrastructure kind of going into the incorporated village right now, and they're all not funded, so some of that stuff's going to come back. But right now, we've got significant dollars at risk, including dollars right across the street associated with the Helen Keller building that we just purchased to move the village hall from there over here. We were the recipients of the $10 million DRI grant, which we oversubscribed for. We had $25 million worth of ask for $9.7 million worth of capital. We still go back and forth with RDUA primarily about the parking garage across the street, which is in dire need of attention, for a soft word to use, as it relates to that. And we're putting, we have plans on the table right now, not just on Terrace Avenue, but in front of Helen Keller to make that a plaza. There's a Nassau County street study going on right now, of which the village is going to have to participate in terms of millions of dollars to slow traffic primarily on Fulton. And just crossing the street here today, looks like we need to talk about how you guys get from that parking lot into this building, because I was playing Frogger on my way over here. So, I mean, there's no shortage of capital that we're putting at risk from the village's standpoint, and there's a lot of capital that we wish we had or get allocated. We stay asking for grant money. We have a grant writer, pretty much on retainer, and like I said, we've gotten so far about $100 million worth of state and federal capital, and that doesn't even mention the water plant, which is a $66 million endeavor. So there is a lot going on here and a lot of capital being invested, not just on Terrace Avenue, but in other parts of the area, primarily downtown.
Thank you for your well thought out comments. I appreciate that. In the spirit of community and transparency, I know some people just came in. Do you folks care to make a public comment about anything? Thank you very much. Appreciate that. Any board comment or staff comment about this proposal? Staff, team?
Staff recommends it.
Excellent. Board, comments, questions, feedback, anything? Okay, so without further ado, I'd like to make a motion for the consideration of an authorizing resolution for Hempstead Preservation LLC at 100 Terrace Avenue. Can I get a motion?
Did you, I thought you just made it.
Oh, that is the motion, sorry. A second.
Right, second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Anybody opposed? Anybody abstain? Excellent. Motion carries. Congratulations. Okay, so we're going to tally, Michael, you'll tally the votes up properly? Just let's do that one more time. Is that clear, what we're doing with the abstention? Michael? You good? Just for the record, those in favor, just verbalize, please, for the record. Those in favor? Ma'am? Excellent, and thank you very much. For the record, thanks again. Good luck and congratulations. Keep us apprised of developments there. Thank you, folks. Next up is the consideration of a request to waive the administrative late fee for Harris Beach 50 Clinton 4-Leaf Bank, formerly known as Bethpage Federal. Staff team, would you mind explaining?
Good morning.
Good morning.
We received a request not from the receiver at the location, but from the bank, which is 4-Leaf, formerly Bethpage, and they're responsible for paying the property taxes in the form of a pilot. They sent us the request because the receiver had not been forwarding the invoices to them in a timely fashion. So this is not a request to waive any fees that go to the jurisdictions that are essentially taxpayer money. This is a fee that is part of our fee schedule. That's an agency fee, and we have never waived it before. So this would set a precedent for waiving fees for the administrative late fee.
Okay, so that delay in getting the documentation from the receiver is accurate from what you've been told? Which made him incur that fee?
Right now, at a request of the bank, they did ask us to send them the invoices directly, in addition to sending them to the receiver, so we're doing that now. We hadn't been doing that before because the receiver just asked us to send them to him. So the bank,
Okay.
I guess, is frustrated, and the amount of the fee is in your packet. It is $820.
Okay. Staff, team, recommendation, thoughts?
It's a bit of bumpy road. I don't see us changing precedents 15 times in this respect.
Okay. Thank you for those comments.
Hold back your thoughts.
No, it's all good. Board, staff, anybody else comments about this?
So it's the receiver's fault for not doing his job that now 4-Leaf is asking that the fees are waived.
The receiver being Harris Beach, correct? Okay. All right, so do we have? Excellent. And we're not here to necessarily break precedents, correct? Especially when something like that occurs. And as our attorney said, there is a remedy. So, do we want to move forward with this resolution, or this consideration?
We have to vote yes or no?
Yep. Okay. Can we?
Unless you want to change the resolution to deny.
So I think that might be the most prudent way to do this, is let's table that resolution and let the chips fall where they may. Fair enough? I see Mr. Oppenheimer smiling back there. That's excellent. Always nice to see you smile. Under,
Do I have to recuse myself? Do I have to recuse myself? Yeah, as a tenant.
so, Attorney, does the Reverend need to recuse himself as a tenant in that building? Okay. So we have to make a motion to table. So I make a motion to table this resolution for the consideration to request a waive of the administrative late fee. That's the motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Great. Those in favor of that?
Aye.
Aye. Abstentions? Opposed? Excellent. That motion carries. Excellent. Thank you. New business, applications, transaction resolutions, and presentations. Consideration of a tenant consent for Valley Stream Green Acres South Shore Opticians, 2034 Green Acres Mall, Valley Stream.
Once again, this reflects, I think, the diversity that has been part of the Valley Stream Green Acres project. It is a 176 square foot optician, obviously eyes, and 5 new employees with a total salary of $225,000. So it looks like another good addition to Green Acres.
Excellent. Board comment? Okay, I make a motion to accept the consideration of a tenant consent for Valley Stream Green Acres South Shore Opticians. Can I get a second? Excellent. Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Consideration of a tenant consent for Valley Stream Green Acres Biora Incorporated, doing business as Akira, 2034 Green Acres Mall.
I have recently learned that this is women's fashions, and it's a pretty hefty 25 to 30 employees, almost 10,000 square feet, $65,000 average salary, so it looks like, again, another reflection of diversity and their efforts at Green Acres to move forward, so we recommend it.
Excellent. Board comment? Okay, I make a motion to accept the consideration for a tenant consent for Biora Incorporated, doing business as Akira. Can I get a second? Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Aye. Anybody opposed? Abstention? Motion carries. Consideration of a lease consent for Equity One Regency Center's Tesla EV charging stations, 900 Old Country Road, Westbury.
This is solely a charging station, no employees, apparently no maintenance. It's just for a convenience for electric cars.
And I saw the documentation, it was voluminous. No impact on, we have to do a lease consent because they're gonna move it in there, is that?
Yes.
Okay. Staff feels comfortable?
Yes.
Excellent. Board, comments? Okay,
So move.
so that's the motion. Those in favor? Aye.
Is a second, who seconds?
With a second? Jerry seconds.
All right.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Those opposed? Any abstentions? Excellent, motion carries. New business, CEO's report.
The only new addition is a request that you'll be receiving soon for Subaru of Hempstead for an application to construct a dealership. Other than that, we've moved, obviously advanced some projects reflecting the present status. No major changes.
Excellent, thank you. Next, new business is discussion of the mortgage default. We've been given a letter that was at our desk this morning for 900 and 990 Stewart Avenue Holdings, which represents 900 and 990 Stewart Avenue in Garden City.
I'll address that if I may. We did receive the summons and complaint for the foreclosure action, which was served on the agency. I called upon receipt, I called Dan Baker, the attorney for the applicant, and he basically explained to me that they have been in the course of a refinancing negotiations for quite some time now. They were getting to the final point, I think, in the world of high finance these days, interest rate and potential Fed adjustment relating thereto was the stumbling block. He thinks it'll get done within the next month or so. This foreclosure action was merely protective action, he said, because the bank, the maturity date on the mortgage had come and gone, and they had to, all payments to the bank have been made and are being, made as required. You see in the letter, too, that the project itself is progressing, and the employment, and it's a good project from that standpoint. I explained to him that I would explain this to the board, but he should be prepared for the next meeting to come in and advise of the status and hopefully tell us that the foreclosure action has been either discontinued or is about to be. So it's really an informational thing because of the nature of the proceedings that were brought. I just wanted to bring that to the board's attention.
Excellent. Staff concerns, considerations?
No, I think John is well encapsulated his current status.
The fact that they're continuing to make the ongoing payments without any change is, to me, the most important piece, right? Board comment? Need to make a motion on this, or no? There's nothing? Excellent, thank you. Can we have a note to have this on the agenda for our next meeting in September for them to come and address? Attorney Baker, that would be, right, from Greenberg? Excellent. Old business, we have none. Reading and approval of minutes of previous meetings. The consideration and adoption of the minutes of July 15, 2025.
Mr. Chairman, I move that we waive the reading of the previous minutes and adopt the minutes of July 15, 2025.
I second that motion. Those in favor?
Aye.
Anybody opposed? Any abstentions? Excellent, motion carries. Report of the treasurer, financial statements and expenditure list, July 9, 2025 through August 12, 2025.
Yes, thank you. I want to commend the staff for doing a great job as always, and all looks in order. Thank you.
Excellent. Consideration of preliminary draft budget.
The only significant increase was the rent expense. So we had the new resolution done by the town. So the rent would increase significantly for next year. And it increases 3% every year after for 5 years. But other than that, if you have any questions about any of the line items, just let us know.
Excellent. Thoughts, comments by the board? There's no motion required. Anything?
No, I think you have to make a motion, right? Do you have to make a motion?
Consider, yes.
Yes.
I'll make a motion to consideration of the preliminary draft budget. Can I get a second? Those in favor?
Aye.
Those opposed? None. Anybody abstain? Motion carries. Are there any committee updates? Team IDA.
We meet in September, right?
Excellent, and they'll be posted. Is there a need for executive session? Excellent, thank you. I'd like to make a motion to adjourn the August 19th, 2025 Town of Hempstead IDA Board meeting. Can I get a motion? I made the motion. Can I get a second?
Second.
Those in favor?
Aye.
Excellent. Anybody opposed? Motion carries. Thanks very much. Enjoy the rest of the summer. Thank you.